Hello students, let us continue our discussion on current electricity, and 34th problem is as follows. In a Wheatstone's bridge, the four resistance arms of the bridge are AB is equal to 2 ohm, BC is equal to 3 ohm, CD is equal to 4 ohm and DA is equal to 1 ohm. A cell of EMF 2 volt and negligible internal resistance is connected across AC, and a galvanometer of resistance 10 ohm is connected between B and D. Find the current through the galvanometer. So here this question is based on galvanometer, and it is not mentioned that the galvanometer is balanced. Okay. First let us draw the circuit for the given data of the question. So it's a Wheatstone's network that we have. Okay, how do we name that? A, B, C, D. Okay, this is what is the Wheatstone's network. That's it. And between A and B, we have a resistor of resistance 2 ohm. And between B and C, the resistance is 3 ohm. Between C and D, CD, it is 4 ohm, and between D and A, DA, right, it is 1 ohm. Okay, and now what is the other data given? And negligible, okay, a cell of EMF 2 volt and the negligible internal resistance is connected across AC. Across AC, we have a cell. Okay, and you can decide the direction of connection of the cell either like this or like this, but I'll keep it like this. Okay, no need to worry. If you change, the current will change like this. Okay, the direction of the current. You can keep it anyway, you'll get the proper answer, no need to worry. Okay, so a cell of 2 volt EMF and negligible internal resistance, 0 ohm internal resistance is connected here, and a galvanometer of resistance 10 ohm is connected between B and D. So here I have a galvanometer of resistance 10 ohm connected between B and D, right? Then what do we need to find? We need to find the current through the galvanometer. Okay, so now first let me name all the currents here. Let me take the current here with, okay, originally flowing, okay, as I1 and I2, I1 plus I2, because see the total current comes here and splits from this point, right? After splitting, how do we name it? We name the current in the branch AB as I1. Similar to Wheatstone's network, we name the current through AD as I2. And before naming the currents and all, when this kind of problem is given, first you should check whether the Wheatstone's network is balanced or not. What is the condition of balance? The condition of balanced Wheatstone's network says P by Q is equal to R by S. P by Q is equal to R by S. Is it true for this? 2 by 3 is not equal to 1 by 4, right? So this circuit is not balanced. And if you have a balanced Wheatstone's network given, then the answer is very easy, right? Without solution, you can give the answer that current through the galvanometer is 0 ampere, right? Because no current will flow through the galvanometer when the circuit is, or the network, Wheatstone's network is balanced. But this is an unbalanced one, so we have to solve for Ig using KVL. Okay, now look at this. From point A, we have currents I1 and I2 splitting like this. So I can take this current as I, the total current, which is equal to what? I1 plus I2, right? Now, I1 comes here, and at point B, I1 splits. Okay, I1 splits to give IG, and what is left? Okay, either you can put KCL at point B and solve, or you can solve in the diagram itself, but you should be very careful. See, the current I1 came out of I1, IG went here, IG. What is left? The current left is I1 minus IG, right? You can directly take this, no need to worry that you need to put the KCL and simplify. No need to worry about this. You can directly take that the current I1 is coming here, out of I1 IG came, what is left is I1 minus IG. Next, similarly, I2 was coming here, IG joined this I2 and went through this branch. So, this current I will name as I2 plus IG. Okay. So, now these two currents came to the point C, and once again they are I1 plus I2. Okay. And hence the circuit is complete now. Okay. All the currents in the circuit are mentioned, are named, and now the factor that we require is IG. So, when this is the situation, again KVL is what will help us in getting IG. Okay. That is all for IG. So, the same approach how we solved for or how we did the Wheatstone's networks derivation, the same approach. We are going to apply KVL for the loop ABDA once and then BCDB once. If not necessary, if not enough, we will also put the KVL for one more loop. See, this diagram has totally through 3 loops. Observe carefully. From here, 1, 2 and 3. Okay, right. Let me put the KVL for first for the loop of A, B, D, A. Okay, generally KVL says summation of current, product of current into resistance is equal to sum of EMFs. Now, I will start from A. Okay, this is the loop that I will be considering now, right? I will start from A to B. I have 2 ohm resistor and current I1 flowing in the same direction. So, it is 2I1. Okay. Then from B to D, and I have current IG flowing through 10 ohm resistance, which is of the galvanometer. So, plus 10 Ig. Why plus again? Because the direction of my traversal and the direction of current are one and the same. And then I came to point D and went towards A. While going towards A, DA, this part, I have resistance of 1 ohm and a current of I2 flowing in the opposite direction. So, it is minus 1 I2, I will simply keep it as minus I2 is equal to 0. Okay. This is the first expression that we get when we apply KVL for the loop A, B, D, A. And I will name this equation as equation 1. Okay. Next, I will apply the KVL for the loop B, C, D, B. Okay. KVL for B, C, D, B, which is I will start from B. Okay. From here, this is how I am going to apply the KVL. B to C first. I have current I1 minus Ig flowing in the same direction of my traversal through the resistance of 3 ohm. So, it is 3 into I1 minus Ig, right. This part is done. And then from C to D, I have a current of I2 plus Ig flowing in the opposite direction through 4 ohm resistance. So, it is opposite direction, 4 minus 4 of I2 plus Ig. Then I have current Ig flowing through the galvanometer in the opposite direction of my traversal. So, it is minus 10 Ig is equal to 0. Why 0? Because we do not have any cell or battery in the considered loops. If we had cells, then we should have mentioned the EMF of those cells in the RHS, right? Let me simplify this. Look at this. This is 3I1, okay, minus 3Ig minus 4Ig minus 10Ig, okay, minus 3 minus 4 minus 7 minus 10 minus 17 Ig, okay, and then you have minus 4I2 is equal to 0. Let me name this as equation 2. Now, whether these two equations enough to get the value of Ig? No, you don't. You know that very well, because we have 3 unknown factors but only 2 equations. So it is impossible to get the values of any of these unknown factors. So we need one more equation. So in order to get that one more equation, we are going to apply KVL again, but this time for the loop A, D, C, A again, okay, like this, A, D, C, A, following, like this, okay. So again KVL for A, D, C, A, okay. You can name these two as E and F and you can take, that's fine, okay, but you should be aware A, D, C, A again, right. From A to D, first it is 1 ohm resistance, I2 current, same direction. So 1 I2, simply I2, then D to C, same direction, like this, our traversal, okay. So D to C, same direction, current is I2 plus Ig, resistance is 4 ohm. So it is plus 4 times I2 plus Ig, and then from C to A again. When we go from C to A again, we do not have any resistor connected here between C and A, right? But we do have a cell here, right? And that cell has the EMF of 2 volt, and while traversing, I first approach negative terminal of the cell, which means is equal to plus 2 volt of EMF. Clear? All of this has 0 in the RHS, these two equations, but this doesn't, because this loop ADCA has a cell in it which has the EMF of 2 volt, and I approach negative terminal of the cell first. So this is the equation that I get. Okay, let me not name it directly as equation 3, let me simplify this. So it is I2 plus 4I2, which is 5I2 plus 4Ig is equal to 2, and let me name this as equation 3. So now you see, we have an equation which connects Ig and I2, and these two equations are from I1, I2 and Ig. So if I can eliminate I1 using these two equations, getting? So my intention would be to eliminate I1 from these two equations, and hence I'll get an equation with only I2 and Ig left, and I'll use that equation with this to get Ig, okay, right. So first, how to eliminate I1 from these two? So here I have 2I1, here I have 3I1. So I should make both of them equal to 6I1. So equation 1 into 3, which is 3I1 plus 30 Ig minus 3I2 is equal to 0. Now come here, 3I1 minus 17Ig minus 4I2. Multiply this by 2, okay. So equation 2 into 2. So it is 3 to the, sorry, so this is 6I1, right? 2, 3 is a 6, okay. Equation 2 into 2. So it is 6I1 minus 34Ig minus 8I2 is equal to 0. Now subtracting them, I1 cancels, plus 34 plus 30, 64 Ig plus 8 minus 3 is plus 5I2 is equal to 0. And let me name this equation as equation 4. So I have fourth equation which connects Ig and I2, right? I also have one more equation, equation 3, which connects I2 and Ig. Look at them, both of them has 5I2 in them, right? So since both of them has got 5I2 in them, I can just simply subtract them to get the value of Ig. So it is equation 4 minus equation 3. Equation 4 says 64 Ig plus 5I2 is equal to 0. Equation 3 is 4Ig plus 5I2 is equal to 2. Now subtracting them, I get 5I2 gets cancelled is equal to minus 2. 64 minus 4 is 60 Ig, and hence you have the value of Ig is equal to minus 1 by 30 ampere. Okay, simplify this, you will get Ig is equal to 0.033 ampere. Now this is the current flowing through the galvanometer. Yeah, don't forget to put the negative sign, it's very important. Now, what is the significance of this negative sign? Why did we get the negative sign in the final answer? See, it was not given that Ig is flowing like this itself. Instead, we assumed that Ig is flowing in this direction and considered this as the positive direction of Ig. But the value of Ig that we obtained has a negative sign in it, which means that Ig is actually in the opposite direction. Okay, what we considered is this direction of current through the galvanometer as positive, but the actual value that we obtained is negative, which means that in reality, physically, current is flowing through the galvanometer in this direction from D to B. Okay, don't need to worry now. So then you might think Ig changed, so this should become I1 plus Ig, this should become I2 minus Ig, and hence all the solutions, whatever we did, they might be wrong. No, it's not like that. Okay, so what the considerations are, depending on the considerations, we will get the final answer, and the final answer that we have obtained has a negative sign in order to represent that the current that we considered is in the opposite direction. That's it. That's the final answer. And you can try, for your curiosity sake, you can consider the direction of Ig in the opposite direction in the beginning itself, during the consideration, and start solving. If you do so, if you directly take Ig in the opposite direction and write all the expressions and so start solving, you will get the value of Ig as positive there. Okay, when do you get the value of Ig positive? When you consider the direction of Ig in the opposite way, like this, in the beginning itself. Okay, if you consider before you write all the KVL expressions, if you consider Ig direction like this, then the current will be like this, and hence you will get positive Ig. And now what we considered is the direction of Ig in the opposite way, right, from B to D. So that is why we ended up with negative value of Ig, which means physically this much of current is flowing in the opposite direction of our consideration. Okay, that is what is happening. Okay, if you want to keep the answer in statement form, therefore 0.033 ampere of current is flowing through the galvanometer from D to B. That's it. Okay, this gives you the complete answer. That is about 34th question. Right. The next question, 35th, is as follows. Uh, Determine the current in each branch of the following network. So the network will be given to you with the question itself, and whatever the names that they have mentioned, we need to keep them the same and solve. Okay, and we don't need to bother about the directions of current and what current should I take, I1, I2, I3. All of them are given in the question itself. Again, the network, when we look into the network, what we see is a resistor here in the place of galvanometer, right? Rest everything looks like a Wheatstone's network itself. And yeah, one more extra thing is we have resistor, extra resistor here with the cell. And rest everything is similar to Wheatstone's network. But again, uh, no combination rules, nothing will work here. We have to go for Wheatstone's net, we have to go for KVL applied to different branches. Okay, they have named the nodes or the points as A, B, C, D. Okay, and this is EMF of the cell. Okay, let us apply the KVL. So what is asked to find is bit lengthy. Okay, current in each branch, which means we have so many branches here. What are all the different currents that we have? I1 is one current. I1 minus I3 is this some current in the branch BC. I3 is the current in the branch BD, and I2 is the current in the branch AD. I2 plus I3 is the current in the branch DC. I1 plus I2 is the current in the branch CA. So these are the currents that we need to calculate. And if you observe carefully, if we can get the value of I1, I2 and I3, rest is everything, rest everything is the combination of I1 and I3, I1, I2 and I3, different combinations, I1 minus I3, I2 plus I3. So that's it. You don't need to bother about all these things. Our intention would be to get the values of I1, I2, I3 now. Okay, right. So we need three values, I1, I2, I3, and hence we will be requiring three equations. Okay, let me start from the loop ABDA as usual. ABDA. KVL for the loop ABDA. General form, write it once, summation IR is equal to sum of EMFs. Okay, now A to B, I1 same direction, so it is 10 I1. Then B to D, I3 5 ohm same direction plus 5 I3. Then D to A, I2 5 ohm opposite direction minus 5 I2 is equal to 0, no cell. Next, let me reduce the equation. See, you have 10 I1, 5 I3, 5 I2 is equal to 0. Dividing the entire equation by 5, this will reduce to 5 I1 plus I3 minus I2 is equal to 0. And let me name this as equation 1. Next, again continuing, KVL for the loop B, C, D, B. Okay, B, C, D, B. B to C, I1 minus I3 is the current, 5 ohm is the resistance, current is in the same direction, B to C. So it is 5 times I1 minus I3, then C to D. C to D, I2 plus I3 is in the opposite direction, and the resistance of this, just a minute, I forgot to put the resistance, is 10 ohm. Resistance of this is 10 ohm. Yeah, and yeah, in B to C is C to D, so it is in the opposite direction, right? So it is minus, I'm sorry, next term, this is B to C1, okay, B to C1 this is, then C to D minus 10 times I2 plus I3, right, and D to B minus 5 I3, opposite direction current, is equal to 0. Let me simplify this. So 5 I1 minus 5 I3, okay, minus 10 I3 minus 5 I3. So it is minus 5 minus 10 minus 15 minus 15 minus 5 minus 20. So it is minus 20 I3, okay, and then minus 10 I2 is equal to 0. This is okay. Again, I can reduce this, divide the entire equation by 5. So it will be I1 minus 4I3 minus 2I2 is equal to 0. Okay. Okay. I just wanted to bring I2 here and I3 there. Okay, because I want all the equations in order. Okay. Right, let me keep it as it is, then I'll replace it while solving. Okay, so again we have two equations with three unknown variables, so that it is not possible to get the values of the variables. We need one more equation, and we will get that by applying the KVL to the loop A, B, C, A. Okay, KVL for A, D, C, A again. Okay. Next. Okay. A to D. Current I2 in the same direction through 5 ohm. So it is 5 I2. Okay. Then D to C. Current I2 plus I3, same direction, 10 ohm resistance, plus 10 of I2 plus I3. Then I come like this. I approach negative terminal of the cell is equal to negative terminal of the cell 10 volt EMF 10 to the RHS EMF part. Next I come here. 10 volt is the uh, resistance. 10 ohm is the resistance. I1 plus I2 is the current flowing. So it is plus 10 times I1 plus I2, and hence this completes the KVL for the loop ADCA. Let me simplify this. 5I2 plus 10I2 plus 10I2. So it is 25I2, right? Yeah. Next, plus 10I3, that's it, plus 10I3. Next is plus 10 I1 is equal to 10. Again, dividing the entire equation by 5, it will be 5I2 plus 2I3 plus 2I1 is equal to 10. Let me name this as not 10, 2, dividing after dividing. So here we have three equations, equation 1, equation 2 and equation 3, which are taken from by applying KVL to the three loops of the network. And now three equation, three variables. Yes, we can get the values of I1, I2, I3. But how? From this step onwards, it's all about your math skills, which will help you in getting the values of I1, I2, I3. If it were only two equations with two variables, it was easy. we could have done that. But now we have 3 equations with 3 variables. How do we solve? Yeah, you might have heard of Cramer's rule from your mathematics of this year itself, determinants, right? We are going to make use of that. Okay, right. Before I go for Cramer's rule, I want to write the equations in a proper way. So I1 first, I2 next, I3 at the last. So it is, first equation is 2I1 minus I2 plus I3 is equal to 0. Okay, this is the first equation. Rewritten, that's it. The terms are rearranged. Next equation, I1 minus 2I2 minus 4I3 is equal to 0. This is the second equation. Next, the last, 2I1 plus 5I2 plus 2I3 is equal to 2. So these are the 3 equations in order. Okay, I1 terms here, I2 terms here, I3 terms in the last. Okay, right. So now what should I do first? I should get the determinant of coefficients of all the variables, which I can call as delta. So delta is 2, 1, 2. Next, coefficients of I2, minus 1, minus 2, plus 5. Coefficients of I3, 1, minus 4, 2. Okay, this is what is delta. What is the value equal to? So look, it is 2 times 2 to the 4, okay, which is minus 4, minus of minus plus 20, right? Minus into minus plus the second column, and what you have here is it is simply 1. Okay, 2 ones are 2, minus into minus plus 4 twos are 8. Next is plus 1 into 5 ones are 5, minus into minus plus 2 twos are 4. Meaning 20 minus 4, 16, 16 twos are 32, plus 8 plus 2 is 10, plus 5 plus 4 is 9. So it is 32 plus 10, 42 plus 9, 51. So we have the value of delta given by 51. So you know that first we should solve for delta, then for delta x, delta y, delta z. And now we have the variables given by delta I1, delta I2, delta I3. Okay, right. So then for delta I1, how do we get delta I1? The same kind of determinant we will write, but instead of coefficients of I1, I will now put the RHS values there. So it becomes 0, 0, 2, rest everything stays the same. Okay, that is what is delta I1. Minus 1, minus 2, 5, 1, minus 4, 2. So delta I1 is equal to 0 into anything 0, next minus into minus plus 1, 0, minus into minus plus 8, next plus 1, 0, minus into minus plus 4, which is equal to 8 plus 4, 12. Okay, so we have delta I1. In the same way, we will now obtain delta I2 and delta I3. Okay, what is delta I2? Delta I2 is, see, rest everything remains the same. In the place of coefficients of I2, this time I will put the RHS values. So 2, 1, 2, instead of minus 1, minus 2, 5, I will put 0, 0, 2, and at last it is the same again, 1, minus 4, 2. So what is delta I2? 2 into 0 plus 8 plus 0 plus 1, it's actually minus 0, doesn't matter, 1 into 2 plus 0. So delta I2 is equal to 8 to the 16 plus 2, 18. Similarly, delta I3 is equal to, in the place of coefficients of I3, I'll put the RHS values, the rest everything stays the same. 2, 1, 2, minus 1, minus 2, 5, 0, 0, 2 instead of 1 minus 4, 2. So delta I3 is equal to 2 times minus 4 plus 0, minus 0 actually, fine, no problem. Minus into minus plus 1 into 2 plus 0 and 0. So delta I3 is equal to minus 8, right? Yeah, minus 8 plus 2, which is minus 6. Yeah, we have delta I1, delta I2 and delta I3, and it's time to get the values of I1, I2, I3 from them. Right. How do we get them? The last step. Should we know that? Delta I1 is equal to I1 is equal to delta by delta I1. Delta I1 by delta, right? What is delta I1? Delta I1 is 12. What is delta? Delta was 51. So 12 by 51 ampere is I1. And then I2 is delta I2 by delta. What is delta I2? Delta I2 is 18 by 51 ampere. Similarly, I3 is delta I3 by delta. What is delta I3? It is minus 6 by 51 ampere. So these are the values of I1, I2, I3. But they are the currents of branch AB, AD and BD. But we still need the currents of branch BC, DC and CA, which are I1 minus I3, right? So what is I1? 12 by 51 minus of minus plus, what is I3? 6 by 51. So it is 18 by 51 ampere, which is current through BC. Next, one more current is I2 plus I3. What is I2 plus I3? I2 is 18 by 51 plus I3 is minus 6 by 51, negative sign, minus plus minus. So 18 minus 6, 12 by 51 ampere. Next, this branch done, this branch done, this branch remaining, which is I1 plus I2. I1 is 12 by 51 plus I2 is 18 by 51, which is 30 by 51 ampere. So these are the final solutions for the current flowing through different branches. In fact, all the branches of the given Wheatstone's network. Yeah, you might feel the problem lengthy, the solution lengthy, but again, practice makes the speed, it makes you faster. And again, here it is not necessary or mandatory that you must make use of Kramer's rule. Okay, because I made use of Kramer's rule because since if the numbers are difficult, then we must go with Kramer's rule. But there are other methods, you know them, right? You will have three equations, make use of two equations to eliminate one, and the other two equations to eliminate one more, and hence you can get two equations of two variables and solving. Okay, you might be aware of those techniques, and I think that technique works here because the equations had simple numbers and similar numbers, so that might have worked. You try that, it will be the same. It's all about different maths approach. But anyhow, I thought I thought to give you the actual Kramer's rule method, so that even if you have complex numbers where you find it difficult to solve two equations together and get the value, even then you should be able to get the answers. Okay, so this is the solution for 35th.